Every now and then, the mainline music stage leaves our usual stage behind and hits the road, looking for the music, the people, and the traditions that bring a community together. And this Friday night, we're headed under the lights. The mainline music stage is going to Friday Night Football as the Riverside Academy Bandits take on the Central City Bearcats. While the players battle it out on the field, we'll be there to bring you something special during halftime. Joe Hartwell takes the mainline music stage microphone down to the stadium, where he'll be joined by Tyler from Tyler's Sports Show to talk about the first half, the big plays, the atmosphere, and everything that makes Friday Night Football special. But football isn't the only show happening under those lights. We'll also visit with Cassidy Parks, director of the Riverside Academy Band, as she takes us behind the scenes of their halftime performance, introduces the night's musical selections, and tells us a little about the students who have worked to bring the field to life with music. This award-winning band will amaze you with their amazing sound and marching skills. It's football, it's marching bands, it's Friday night under the lights, and it's another stop on the road for the mainline music stage. Join Joe Hartwell, Tyler from Tyler's Sports Show, Cassidy Parks, and the Riverside Academy Band this Friday night during halftime of Riverside Academy versus Central City. Because sometimes the best stage isn't inside a theater. Sometimes it's 50 yards wide, surrounded by bleachers, and sitting right underneath those Friday night lights. The mainline music stage, on the road. We'll see you at halftime.
Good evening, everyone. We at the mainline music stage are on the road tonight. We are live in the press box of WMLS, sitting down with Tyler's Sports Show. It's the first game of the season, and we want to welcome everybody back to Friday Night Football. We are at halftime here tonight with the Riverside Academy Bandits taking on the Central City Bearcats. The players are getting a few minutes in the locker room, but there is plenty happening right here on the field. Both marching bands are getting ready to give us a halftime show, and we are going to spend a few minutes talking football, bands, and everything that makes a Friday night like this so special. As the Central City Bearcats band performs, we will spend a few moments with a special sponsor of the mainline music stage. And later we will be joined by the band director for Riverside, Miss Cassidy Parks. Joining me now is Tyler from Tyler's Sports Show. Tyler, good to have you with us tonight.
Glad to be here. There is just something about Friday Night Football. You have the lights, the crowd, the cheerleaders, the marching bands, and of course, two teams out there giving everything they have.
And this has been a good one so far. Riverside Academy and Central City both came ready to play tonight.
They sure did. Riverside has shown some good speed, and Central City has been physical up front. Both teams have had their moments, and I think the second half could come down to who makes the fewest mistakes.
That is usually the story in a close football game. Protect the football, avoid penalties, and make something happen when you get the opportunity. The score at half is 14-7 with Riverside ahead, but anything can happen in the second half.
Exactly. And you also have to think about adjustments. The coaches have had a full half to see what the other team is trying to do. Now they get a few minutes in the locker room to change things up.
While they are doing that, Riverside Academy's marching band is beginning to take the field. And I have to say, Tyler, the band is such a big part of high school football.
Absolutely. You can have a great football game, but when you add the marching band, the fight songs, the drums, and the crowd reacting to all of it, that is what gives Friday Night Football its atmosphere.
Tonight, Riverside Academy has put together a special halftime program built around music inspired by imaginary movie adventures. We are joined now by the Riverside Academy Band Director, Cassidy Parks. Thanks for taking a moment to talk with us.
Thank you. We are excited about tonight's show. The students have worked very hard on it, and they have really enjoyed the theme.
Tell us a little about what we are going to hear.
Our halftime show tonight is built around the idea of going to the movies without ever actually showing a movie. Each piece is designed to make you imagine a different story. We are opening with March Beyond the Stars. This one has a big space adventure feel. You'll hear strong brass fanfares, driving percussion, and the melody that is meant to sound like our band is heading out on some great journey through the stars.
That sounds like a great way to begin.
Then we move into The Last Train to Red Rock. That one is completely different. It has a Western feel, and the percussion gives it almost a galloping rhythm. We want the audience to imagine an old steam train racing across the desert. After that, we get a little darker with Storm over Blackwater Bay. That one starts with lower brass and rolling drums. It is supposed to feel like a storm is building out.
So you are almost telling a story without words.
Exactly. That's what we wanted the students to understand. Instrumental music can tell a story just as well as lyrics can. Then we will perform Guardians of the Golden City. That piece has more of a fantasy adventure sound. It is very regal and very powerful. We follow that with Midnight Chase on Highway 61. That one is just fun. It is fast, the low brass gets to show off a little bit, and the drum line really gets moving. Then we close with Rise of the Iron Giant. That is our biggest piece of the night. It begins dark and heavy and then builds into a huge final fanfare. We wanted to leave everything we had on the field with that one.
Sounds like quite a show. How much work goes into putting something like this together?
A lot more than most people probably realize. The students are learning the music, memorizing their parts, learning where they are supposed to be on the field, and then trying to do all of that while staying in step and keeping the formations clean. Our drumline practices separately. The brass sections work on balance. Everybody has to learn how their individual part fits into the entire show. It takes a lot of discipline.
And I imagine there is some pressure knowing all these people are watching.
There is, but that is part of the fun. Once they step onto the field and hear the crowd, all that practice starts to make sense.
Well, we are looking forward to it. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. We hope everybody enjoys the show.
And Riverside Academy is set. Here comes the opening number, March Beyond the Stars. What an opening from the Riverside Academy Marching Band. Tyler, you can hear why the band director called that one a space adventure.
Definitely. Big sound, lots of brass, and that drum line keeps the whole thing moving. You can almost picture some spaceship heading off into the unknown.
And now they transition into The Last Train to Red Rock.
Now that one has some personality.
It certainly does. I can hear that train rhythm in the percussion.
And the crowd likes it too. You can see people clapping along.
While Riverside gets set for their next number, let's talk about what you are watching for when these teams come back out for the second half.
For Riverside, I would like to see them continue getting the ball outside. They have had success when they get their faster players into open space.
Very dramatic, huh?
I like that one. The low brass at the beginning really made it feel like something was coming.
Now the formations are changing again, and Riverside moves into Guardians of the Golden City. A beautiful performance there. And while Riverside prepares for their final two selections, we can see the Central City Bearcats marching band making their way back into the visitor section.
That is one of my favorite parts of games like this. You get two football teams competing, but you also get two bands showing what they can do.
And there is plenty of pride on both sides. Riverside now brings us Midnight Chase on Highway 61.
Favorite one so far.
I thought you might like that one.
It's fast, it's loud, and that drum line is getting after it.
One more selection coming from Riverside Academy. Their finale tonight is Rise of the Iron Giant. really enjoyed the show. Listen to the applause for the Riverside Academy Marching Band and their special movie adventure halftime show.
They did a great job.
They certainly did, Tyler. And now, football fans, don't go anywhere, because the Central City Bearcats and the River City Academy players are making their way back to the field. Tyler and I will be right here as halftime continues, and then we will get you ready for the second half between the Riverside Academy Bandits and the Central City Bearcats. This is Friday Night Football, and there is plenty more still to come.